Deep in the lush green valleys of Sakarya, there was a village that time had almost forgotten, the magical village. This village was surrounded by natural beauty, but full of dark secrets. For centuries, the people living here believed that the village was cursed and were afraid to go out at night. However, the events that took place in the summer of 1921 would change the fate of this village forever. It all started after the first rains that heralded spring. While the villagers were expecting a bountiful harvest in their fields, their soil suddenly dried up and their crops began to turn yellow and wither. At first, the villagers thought it was a natural disaster. However, as time went by, they realized that this was no coincidence. The animals also started to get sick one by one. The cows stopped giving milk, the chickens stopped laying eggs, and instead of peace, a vague fear prevailed in the village. In another incident, little Zainab, who was 5 years old, disappears. Zainab's family and the villagers searched for her in the forest for days but could not find her. Just when they were in despair, Zainab appeared in the forest, but she was blind and began to speak Latin. This situation creates great panic among the villagers. The unrest in the village gradually increases. When the darkness of the night falls, the villagers begin to pray desperately. That night, strange sounds begin to be heard in the village: screams, whispers, sobs, and a deep silence. The villagers begin to believe that there is a curse behind what is happening. According to the legend, the person who caused these events emerges as a result of the unpaid money to a shepherd who migrated to the village. The shepherd, who was wronged by the villagers, casts a spell in order to get revenge. The spell causes the animals in the village to get sick, the fields to become barren, and screams to be heard at night. According to another belief, the young shepherd Ali in the village is one of the best raisers of the village's animals. However, when Ismail Aga wrongfully steals his most valuable sheep, Ali loses his patience. The villagers do not help him, and Ali decides to resort to dark powers to get revenge. Another incident is the tragic Imam incident. The Imam in the village is caught in the middle of these dark events. One night, the Imam suddenly appears in the mosque square and shouts, "My Allah, help me," and begins to cut his own legs with an axe. While the villagers gather in fear, the Imam faints. The Imam, who is taken to the hospital, recovers after a few months but never returns to his old self. The Imam's condition worsens. One night, the villagers wake up with terrifying screams and see the Imam crawling on the ground. While shouting, "Leave me alone," he is crawling rapidly on the ground with his legs cut off. After this incident, no news is heard from the Imam again. After a while, another Imam comes to the village to investigate the situation. When he searches the Imam's house, he finds a severed goat's head and pig skins with Arabic writings on them. The Imam says that he has cast a spell and is being haunted by spiritual beings. These events increase their fear even more. The villagers think that spiritual beings are behind these events. Finally, the villagers can no longer stand it and decide to leave the village. 117 households quietly pack their belongings in the middle of the night and set off on their way. All that remains are abandoned houses and forgotten memories. Another Imam, who is aware of the events that took place in the magical village, enters this abandoned magical village to investigate the terrible events in the village, and when he returns, he loses the authority to speak. This situation is an indication of the curse and the influence of spiritual beings in the village, and this tragic event experienced by the Imam shows the dark past of the village and the seriousness of the mysterious events that took place there. The magical village still maintains its mystery today. There are rumors that it is forbidden to enter the village and that the events here are still ongoing. After the cursed events in 1921, the village was completely abandoned. No human or animal can enter. It is known that those who enter do not return, including animals. As a result, the magical village is remembered by the locals as a place full of mysterious events, remembered with deep fear and curiosity. Today, the magical village is known as the village of spiritual beings with its abandoned structures and intertwined nature. Performing magic and having it performed is considered equivalent to associating others with Allah. In the 102nd verse of Surah Al-Baqarah, it is stated that those who perform magic will have no share in the hereafter.